Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. Today is Tobago Thursdays, and I want to welcome to the show the Executive Chairman of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, Alicia Edwards, as well as the Marketing Officer at the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, Pearl Henry, as they join us live actually this morning from Germany, where they're going to represent and lead a delegation of the Tobago House of Assembly officials and private officials to be able to bring Tobago to the ITB. Good morning, ladies.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you
so much for having us.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, can I get a brief overview on exactly what the ITB is?
Thomas, you let me go. Okay. Basically, the ITB is an international tourism trade forum. All right, it's the largest forum worldwide. All right. It's represented usually by hoteliers, tourism boards, tour operators, airlines, etc. So it is the largest trade fair where most countries attend.
All right. And the benefit of Trinidad of the Tobago Tourism Agency being there is what exactly?
I mean, it's basically improve on the brand awareness. All right. In this session where we had COVID-19, it's basically reconnecting with tour operators.
Okay. All right. Understandably so. I'm curious as to who will be representing Tobago's delegation at the ITB this year.
So I am leading the TTAL delegation, the Tobago Tourism Agency delegation. We actually have a 1-week sales mission where we're going to different German cities, specifically to talk to some of our trade partners. So we're actually taking this meeting, this interview, right after a meeting at the Condor offices just outside of Hamburg.
Okay, nice.
So it's a busy rounds of meeting. In addition to that, next week we'll be joined by the Chief Secretary, Honorable Fali Augustine, or Secretary for Tourism, Honorable Tashia Boris, and other members of the team who will be coming in specifically for the show, which is from the 7th to the 9th of March in Berlin.
Okay, so you guys have already started the pre-show meetings. And are there any positive outcomes so far?
The thing about it is that the marketing officer that's with us, Ms. Henry, she's brand new. So it's important for her to meet her overseas rep and also to talk to international partners.
Okay.
But what is nice as well is that we're having an opportunity to actually have some market insights. Tobago is just one of many destinations that our partner airlines and partner tour operators work with. And it's important for us to come at this point in time because there are some things that you find out, some synergies that you create, some roadblocks and some hurdles that you overcome in these one-on-one discussions that are impossible to do otherwise. So meetings tend to be an hour long, and so it's been very fruitful so far.
Lovely. Can you tell me some of the travel partners that we've already been able to chat with and who we have planned to speak to as well?
Right. So we met with FTI yesterday, which is the third largest tour operator in Germany.
Right.
And we had some discussions with them about not just our hotel properties, but also bed and breakfast properties, because they have a subsidiary that specifically markets to a lower cost market. So we had some discussions there in terms of our bed and breakfast. We're just wrapping up a meeting with Condor, which is really our direct travel partner, or direct airline partner into Tobago. And we were discussing and finalizing plans for winter 23 and summer 2024. Later on today, we're running off to a meeting with Dutourist, which is the largest tour operator. And tomorrow we have a meeting with FVW. And this again is one of the larger tour operators and someone who we hope to do a destination marketing project with in 2014. So it's been a busy week because we're moving from city to city, but very, very productive. And because and very useful because we are already in this part of the world for ITB.
Definitely. And I think it's important to be able to capitalize on being there so that you can hit the necessary touch points. But tell me, how do you measure the level of success of this mission to say, all right, we've been able to achieve X, Y, and Z? What are the measurables that we're looking at?
The thing about it is that all our work eventually comes down to the benefits for our stakeholders. TTAL is really the architect and the support infrastructure for the industry. So the measures will come in terms of not just increase arrivals from Germany, but also increase aware nights, increase room nights, also repeat visitors, and also some of the online targets that we set in terms of making Tobago more visible and more known in the German market.
All right. So I believe Ms. Henry is back on with us.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. As the marketing officer, can you tell me the actual plan when it comes to marketing Destination Tobago? How are we marketing the brand?
Okay, well, as mentioned before, the German and Scandinavian markets are very important for us. So what we try to do is liaise as much as possible, with the German tour operators, cruise liners, airlines. We also have a German marketing representative. So we're
Okay.
in constant conversation with her as she's on the ground and she's aware of the trends that are happening currently. I mean, COVID-19 has changed everything, so our approach is a bit different. And the approach that we would have had before may not necessarily work now. So it's basically a partnership.
All right, Ms. Edwards, I realize that we tend to do a lot of focusing on Europe and Germany and these areas when it comes to marketing brand Tobago. Is there a particular reason for that?
Can you repeat that question?
I'm not hearing you clearly.
Oh, sorry. I was asking Ms. Edwards. When it comes to marketing Tobago and you know what the tourism agency has been doing, I've seen a lot of effort being put into Europe, into you know that UK market, the German market, etc. Is there any particular reason that we focus on this market?
Right. So what the data has shown is that traditionally the UK has been the strongest overseas source market for us. But
Okay.
the agency now, based on new information coming, have started to put emphasis on in Germany, as well as North America, the USA, and Canada as well. And we're also doing some additional work in the domestic market. So everything is really driven by our strategic intent, as well as what the results are on the ground. And so I would say our source markets are 5 in number, 4 international, 1 domestic. And throughout the year, you will see us placing different levels of emphasis on those markets. We went to WTM last October,
Yeah.
November, and now we're in Germany. But separate and apart from what you see, a lot of the work is invisible. It happens at the level of the trade because there are 2 levels to the marketing. There is the trade marketing, which is required meeting, getting Tobago listed, training travel agents and tour operators to sell and book the destination. And then on the other hand, it's the more visible one that you see, where you would have direct marketing to consumers, billboards, ads, etc. So both sets of activities, trade and consumer activities, are continuing simultaneously in all our source markets.
And that's exactly what I needed people to understand, because sometimes people think when they don't see the work that there isn't any work happening. And it's important for them to realize that, you know, there's work going on behind the scenes, even if you don't particularly see it. I'm also curious about the collaboration. And we just, for example, saw that Jazz launched their marketing this week. And we know we have things that happen in Tobago, Great Fed, Great Race. We have the Tobago Carnival coming up in October, of course. Are these things also part of the marketing package that we use to be able to try and draw in tourists for a particular time? Or is it just based on their seasons in terms of, you know, they have their winter, so we want to invite them to a warmer climate and that sort of thing? Or is it a combination of both?
Right. It's a combination of both. What the agency has realized is that there needs to be closer collaboration between ourselves and the other entities, because Jazz is managed by the Tobago Festivals Limited, and a lot of the events and the activities are managed by other entities. So one of the things that's key for TTAL this year is actually becoming more creating corridors of cooperation between ourselves and public and private sector partners who have events and activities on the island, because that's integral to the Tobago experience. It's not just coming to Tobago and finding a place to stay, but actually finding memorable and uniquely cultural specific activities to do while they're there. And so, yes, TTAL is going to be a lot more involved in bringing the activities on island, whether it's the jazz, it's the Tobago Carnival. We'll be integrally involved in including that as part of our selling of the destination.
Fantastic. Well, Mr. Edwards, I want to thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'm sorry that you had some connection issues there with Miss Henry, but all the best with your continued work, and especially all the best in Germany. I know you have a lot of meetings to get to, so I'm going to let you go now and represent Tobago to the fullest.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the work that you're doing and continue to do.
Thank you so much for having us. It's sub-zero here, but we do what we have to do. But we are really grateful for the opportunity to have us on, and we look forward to having a good report when we do return from ITB.
And we look forward to hearing that report as well. Thank you so much. Take care. That's Alicia Edwards, the Executive Chairman of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited. Also, in and out of the call there for a little while, we had Miss Pearl Henry, who's the Marketing Officer at TTAL as well. And they are out in Germany representing Tobago, trying to make sure that we can boost our tourism because, of course, you know, we have all these things coming up in Tobago that we want to be a part of. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we have your birthday shouts. Stick around.